Hey everybody, this is Dave coming to you from the Gaming Cave. Today we're going to start our playthrough of 20th Air Force 2nd Edition from Fortress Games. Alright, so this game is designed on the same, some of the same stuff that 8th Air Force is, but it's different. Okay, and I'm not going to try to explain all the differences. You'll see them as we go along. And been through the rules, but I haven't played through yet, so we're going to do a little learning together and see how my strategy works and get going. I already did my setup. I didn't want to bore you with all the rolling and placements and all that stuff, so while I was sorting everything, I got it all set. But down here we have there's 5 zones, core regions that you use, just like 8th Air Force. There's just fewer of them. And then there's a low altitude area bombing track and a high altitude bombing track. So that's what we'll be using there. All right. And then we have anti-aircraft for the zone. And then the cities have anti-aircraft. And then there's the one that we rolled for it to set up that moves every turn. Right now it's in zone 5. Up here at the top are the major cities. So there's 6 of them. And then these white counters over here that are upside down, those are going to be my training. Oh, yep, I'll get to it when we flip one. I have to damage the track. Oddly enough, I rolled 1 out of 6. I rolled 1, 2, 3, 4 on infrastructure, and the other 2 on air production. So it's like I just rolled either a 1 or 2 or a 5 or 6 when I was placing them. And the same thing happened down here when I was placing the Japanese fighters. You can see the extra groups went into areas 1 and 5. I just kept rolling the combinations that put them there and didn't. So the middle areas are a little weak. Tokyo and area 5 out here are really heavy. Okay. Well, okay, so we start over here, and I have my industry damage tracks, and then I have the research box, everything, all my counters at the start position, and then of course we have the calendar, which starts in September 44, and we start with phase 4 and mission construction, and down here phase 4, you can see there's bombing by Navy, but that doesn't begin until turn 11. And then so we start with mission construction. Excuse me. So we'll get started here with mission construction. So one target I'm going to go after is Osaka. It has one of my counters there, and it has takes 2 hits to get to that. So I'm going to send 2 B-29 groups on a high altitude precision bombing, and they're going to Osaka. So I'm putting Osaka. I'm going to put it beside it. You can put it on top if you want. Okay, the other one, I have 3 groups here, so I can decide, where do I want to go, but I think I'll go to Nagoya and go after the infrastructure. So I'm going to send 3 groups there, high altitude precision bombing, right here, and they're going to Nagoya. Okay, and the thing there is I'm trying to hit that and get it down where the next turn I can get through that one, and I may be able to get start on something else. At some point I'm going to have to go bomb Tokyo really heavy to try to get in there, but I'm hoping I can get some reinforcements and send a big raid in there to get through all the fighters. So that's where we're going to be at. Okay, so I completed my mission construction. So the next thing we do is we execute our missions. Okay, so I'm just going to refer to my rule book. This first couple times I got to make sure that I don't miss anything. Execute the missions. 3 different types of targets. Ours are all major cities right now. And so we execute the mission by executing the bombing missions. So the first thing we do is we're going to start right here. We would go in order if we had multiple missions. We're going to Osaka, so they're moving into this area, and we have to see, do they get intercepted? And we roll on the USAF, IGAF, Imperial Japanese Army Air Force interception. We roll 1 die, and we're doing high altitude, so a 5 is half, and a 6 is all. Otherwise, they do not intercept. Oh, good. I got a 1. So the fighters do not intercept. Okay, so we're free of them. So they don't do anything. So now we're going to have the anti-aircraft fire. So at Osaka, there's 5, and 3 is 8. And we have that to 4 because it's high altitude. So their attack strength is 4. So again, we roll 1 die. And we get a 4. And a 4 on 4 is 1 damaged. Okay. Now, sorry, just doing a quick look. Let's see if they get damaged. See where they go. I think let me check real quick. Okay, I just want to make sure. We take 1 hit, so we take 1 squadron, because you take the squadrons before you take the groups, and it goes here in the return to base area. So I have a squadron there in the return to base area, and so now we drop our bombs. We have 2 groups. 2 groups score 2 hits, and this is on Osaka. So we hit this 1, 2. We destroyed it, and we get to see what we have here. And what we have is bomb recon +1. So bomb recon +1. All right, and then we put these up here, and it shows us what's left to get there. All right, and one thing I should have marked them with, that's okay, that one didn't matter. I'm going to put this marker on here. This is untrained, -1 column. This is in case the fighters hit us. Okay, so these guys finished Osaka. I'll put that counter back and bring these guys back home. They'll be back on their base. Okay, now we go to Nagoya. So again, we have to roll for the Japanese interception of the fighter group. I'll move this just a little closer to me here. All right, here we go. Again, they need a 6, really, or 5. They got a 2, so the fighters do not intercept again. So I won't need my untrained marker this turn. So that comes off. Oh, sorry. I did reveal the bomb recon +1. So that means we get to move up on our research box over here. Here, I'll bring it over so you can see a little better. On our bombing research box for recon, we bring it 1, it needs 1 more. And we get 1 more, then reconnaissance will be available for us, which is nice. Okay, so that helps. So we got that research box there going. Okay, next up. My bomber is going to go through the flak. This is Nagoya. It's a 3, and there's a 4. That's 7. We take half, which is 3.5, and round up, makes it a 4 again. So they roll on the 4, and they get a 1. So no flak effect. Okay, so we got through that. This is 1, 2, 3 groups, and I attacked the infrastructure in Nagoya. So we go 1, 2, 3, and we now have that at 3. It's a total of 5. So the next turn, I can come back to Nagoya and probably knock that one out. Bring my bombers back home. Nobody got damaged, so I had 1 damaged squadron out of my missions there. That completes my missions. We score campaigns. Well, I don't have any bombing campaigns active, so I don't have to do anything there. And now I go to tally air, oil, infrastructure tracks. Okay, so the way this one works is up here on the board. I know it's a ways away to see, but you add each one. So I know like oil output, I didn't do any damage there, so I don't have to add it up. In this case, this is pretty simple, but as I start to bomb more and more, you'll see what happens. But you add these up, so you have 0 plus 2 plus 0 plus 0 plus 0 plus 0, so that's 2. So the air production has 2 hits on it, so his production is a 5 now. And for infrastructure, 0, 0, 3, 0, 0, 0. So his infrastructure has 3 hits, so it's a -1 there on the infrastructure. Okay. Now we do Imperial Japanese Army manufacture. All right, so that means Japanese industry determines how many units may be manufactured each turn. Consult the Japan industry damage air production track to determine the indicated air production level. So our level that he has is a 5. All right, and then we're going to go to his manufacturer number, and we roll the 2 dice, well, 1 die, and we compare it against the 5, and it's going to tell us what he's going to manufacture. Oh, good, he rolled a 2. So a 2 on the 5 is 3. So see, his production level's 5, rolled a 2, he gets 3. So he's going to get 3 squadrons. Okay, so first we manufactured in the dead pile, so we don't have any groups there, so he's going to get 1, 2, 3 squadrons. All right. And these start with the weakest group. Once all the groups are collected, they're placed one at a time in the same manner. So the weakest groups are the 2s, and then we start at the lowest number when they're all even. So it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And weakest target track with least groups. Weakest track, but we'd go with weakest group. Yeah. So the weakest group with the highest or lowest air combat factor. All right. And then when there's a tie, we go with the lowest number on the track. So much like 8th Air Force. So we're going to have 3 of these. So he gets a squadron. They get a squadron. And then they get a squadron here. Okay, so that's how they build up the strength of their groups. Okay. Now we do research and return B-29 groups. Number 8, number 9, research. During this phase, you expand research points to advanced research. You start the game with 1 research point available per turn. You can increase each turn's available points 2 ways. Completing all the research in a conventional non-atom bomb track, which is worth 1 additional point per turn. And when you do so, immediately move the research turn counter along its track to indicate your increased point per return. Destroying major cities. Once destroyed, all 4 industry tracks. Each major city is worth 1 additional research point. Okay. The cost in research points to advance research is listed on its track. For example, it costs 2 research points to advance reconnaissance research 1 space. Incendiaries cost 2. That's 1. Yep. Okay. All right. Unused points are lost. They must be... Okay. So, during this phase, okay, I'm going to read this again to myself, then I'm going to tell you what I figured out. Okay, 2 things I got to correct real quick. One, when I took my damage, this squadron was destroyed, not damaged. So he goes back to the Deadpool. All right, fixes that. And then the other one is I didn't spend when I'm on the research phase, and I get 1 research point, and I'm going to spend it on training. Oops, over here. So we spend it on the training, and that completes the training phase. So I now have that, and I won't have to use those untrained anymore. And when I do that, then I earn another research point per turn. So now I'm up to 2. So now I get to spend 2 per turn, which is going to help me with incendiaries and reconnaissance. Okay. All right. Now we go to bombing repair. And in bombing repair, there's four phases. There's bombing campaign repair. Well, I don't have a bombing campaign going on right now, so nothing there. Minor city restoration, I haven't got to that phase yet. Major city restoration after MPD achieved, we haven't got to that point. So we do major city repair. So over here, we have major city repair. So we're going to do a die roll, and then we look at the infrastructure, and it has 3 hits, and it's a -1. So on our major city repair in early, as early we roll with a -1. Okay, so we're going to roll, and they get a 2. A 2 minus 1 is 1. So a 2 minus 1 is 1. So they get 2 repair points. Okay, because I don't have any anything completely wiped out, then they're going to spend points for the things it did. So Osaka, his was completely gone, and that's the only one. So we would spend 1 point there, and then after that, it's, then you do the one with the most damage. That's the way I took it. And the next one would be the infrastructure in Nagoya. So they would get 1 damage point back. So Osaka got 1 air back, and they got infrastructure back. But you don't, my understanding is, again, on the bombing repair, if I can find it again, number 10. Yeah. Here it is, bombing repair, major city restoration, major city repair. Okay, you roll a die against the major city. We did that. If the hits level is 13, then I roll B -3. So Okay. First to every industry damage track below its minimum, 1 point to get it to its minimum. We did that. Then the remaining repair points are applied to the one city with the most eligible repair possible. That was Nagoya. So I did that right. Okay, industry tracks destroyed by incendiaries are not eligible. Apply repair points to the lowest AOIH major city industry damage track counter. Reevaluate which track counter is lowest after each repair point. Yep. Okay. Okay. Now air and oil are tied for leftmost air 6. Advance the turn counter to the next turn. Okay. So we now go to October 1944, and we go to phase 1. So the first thing we're going to do is move the anti-aircraft marker. We roll 2 dice, and we do this on the new group placement. So we rolled green 4, red 5. Green 4, red 5 is area 3. So the anti-aircraft fire moves to 3. So he's going to be here, right there with Nagoya. Not where I wanted him to be because that's where I was flying, but we'll have to deal with that, I guess. Okay. And then we get track reinforce. +3 new groups. US 11th. All new groups come with 1 squadron attached. All right. US 11th. So here's the 11th right here, and he gets a squadron attached. So I now have a new B-29 group assigned to us. Okay, like that. Gives me a little bit more power. Okay, US new groups, replace RTBs and manufacture squadrons. Get back over here. I feel like we're going to pick up the pace here a little bit. New groups, consult the calendar and place the indicated bomber groups. We did that. Oh, IJA, track reinforce +3. I think I just messed up. Let me go back to move AA, track reinforce +3. If any target track has more by at least 3, they do not. Okay. Strongest group, move only 1 group and do this only once per turn. Yep. And they don't have any groups coming on yet. Theirs come on in turn 3. Okay, so they don't have any reinforcements coming on right now. All right. So we, let's see what we do. We get new groups. I did that. He came from the squadron left in the dead pile. Replace squadrons in the return to base are brought back into play. We don't have anybody there. Manufacture squadrons. Then consult the calendar and receive the number of squadrons indicated in the manufacturing column left from the dead pile. All right, manufacturing column. Right here, I get 1. So I get 1 squadron coming back, and he'll go back to the B-29 group that lost 1. All right. Okay. Range them left to right. Let's see, did all that. Add, remove. Okay, here we go. Next phase, add, remove bombing campaigns. We don't have any bombing campaigns yet. Phase 4, mission construction. Okay. So, I could go back to Osaka and try to damage that, but it's really not worth my time right now. What I want to do is hit one of these others. I could go to Kobe and hit his infrastructure with 6. I got 6 bomber groups here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I could nail another marker there. Or I can go 3 onto Nagoya, and I can, if I send 3 there, that leaves me with 3 somewhere else. I could hit Yokohama with 3 and take out his oil production. Or I could go after his air production again. These are the choices we have to make. Or I could send all 6 over here and get this infrastructure down. Or I can, yeah. So we're going to go to Nagoya because that was my original target. So I'm sending these 3 B-29 groups are going to Nagoya on a high altitude. I'll put the marker there. I got 3 other groups. Now I can spread them out if I want. So I could send one back to Osaka and try to hit air production group again, or I can wait. I could go to Yokohama. He has 2, or I could go hit his oil output, which is over here. I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to send these 3 over here to Yokohama, and I'm going to hit his oil production and see if I can knock it out. Or I could hit his infrastructure and get it down to 3 also, which is a better choice for me because that starts to get that back down again. All right, so that's my mission construction. There was one other mistake I made. When I got those squadrons over here, I put them in the wrong order. So these 3 were supposed to go, they go to the first 3 squadrons without, or groups without squadrons, and it's the highest priority, not the lowest priority. The highest priority is the number 4s because they're the highest. And then to the lowest track number. So he gets 1 here. Hit Tokyo. He gets 1. Then the next one comes over here. All right. So there you go. Now we're in business. Okay. I knew there was something else I needed to correct. All right. So I'm all square now. Okay. Sorry about that, but I wanted to make those corrections and get them right. Okay. So we got our missions. We're going to execute our missions. Okay. We're going to Nagoya. We're going after the infrastructure. High altitude. The Japanese are going to roll for interception. He's got 2 fighter groups over here. He gets a 3, and a 3 is nothing. He needed 5 or 6. Okay, so no interception from the fighters. So we have anti-aircraft. He has 4 plus 2 is 6, plus 3 is 9. Divided in half is 4.5. Makes it 5, and it drops him back to 4 again. So he rolls 1 time on the 4, and he gets a 3. And a 3 is nothing, no hits. Okay, so I get through on Nagoya. Go ahead and put that back. That's 1, 2, 3 hits. 3 hits on the infrastructure in Nagoya. 1, 2, 3, I destroyed it. And we get the marker and Fui. It's the dud. So we got 1 dud marker. Okay, so I didn't get anything for Nagoya other than it created some damage there on the infrastructure. Okay, next thing. Yep. My mind's ahead of, and I know why. There's a question in my mind. I answered it myself. I'll get there in a minute. Okay, going to Yokohama. Here we go. Fighters are up. And they got a 4. And a 4 is no interception. Whew, that was close though. Okay, so here they come. Here we have 5, and 3 is 8. Divided in half is a 4 again. So we roll, and he gets a 3. And a 3 on 4, again, is no damage. So the flak doesn't do anything. Put Yokohama back. And again, we have 1, 2, 3. So that's 3 hits on their oil production. No, 3 hits on their infrastructure. Takes them down to 3 now. So I hit the infrastructure there also. So I'm trying to get to these markers here by pecking away. And I can probably go hit Kawasaki, Yokohama next time. Hopefully I'll have enough. Maybe I'll be getting close enough, if maybe not, to damage some of these guys. Okay, anyway, here we go. So my bomber missions are over. I don't have any campaigns to score. We're not at a victory level yet. Tally our air, oil, and infiltration tracks. Okay, so this is where my mind was thinking. Over here, we had them repair an air production, but I didn't change these markers because they're going to change now when I add everything up. So here we have 0, we have +1, 0, 0, 0, 0. So instead of being 2 hits there, now they have 1 hit. Okay, so the air production just went back up from a 5 to a 6. On their oil, it's all zeros. But on the infrastructure, they have 0, 0, 5, and 3 is 8, and 0. So now we have 8 hits. Okay, which makes him a -2 on his infrastructure now. Okay, that's good. Okay, IGA manufacturer. So on the IGA manufacturer, we're going to roll. And they're now at a 6, so they use the 6. And they get a 3. And a 3 on 6 is 5. So they're going to get 5 squadrons. So they're still manufacturing well. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, so they go to the 4s again first. So we know all of them don't have any. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4. And now they're going to go to the 2s. And we go to the lowest track, which is over here, 5. All right, so that's where they're at now. So they're building up their Air Force there. Okay, research. Return B-29 groups. So I don't have anybody to return, but on research, I'm going to research incendiaries. So I move it. I have 2, and I move that down 2. So I got my first research level done on the incendiaries. I need those incendiaries so they stop repairing stuff and start burning them out. All right, here we go. Now we do bombing repair. Again, the only bombing repair is the major city repair. So we're going to roll. Now, they're at a -2 on their infrastructure, and they're in the early. So we roll, and they get a 3. -2 is a 1, which is 2 points again. So again, we go to the ones that are completely destroyed. That would be Nagoya. So he gets 1 back. Puts him back at a 4 now. And they have 1 more. And who's got the most? Well, he's got 4 damage. He only has 1. He only has 3. So Nagoya would get another one. So he goes back up to 3 now. Okay, so they did some repair work in Nagoya. I don't really care because I found out it wasn't worth anything over there anyway. All right, that's the end of the turn. We now go to November. And we go Imperial Japanese Army gets group number 23. All new groups come with a squadron attached. So here he comes. This is your 23rd Air Regulars. You can see that black number 3 is the turn he comes in on, and we give him a squadron, so he comes attached, and we have to place him. So we're going to roll 2 dice. Well, first thing we're going to do is move our anti-aircraft marker. So we got to move it first, and he gets a green 2, red 6. Green 2, red 6 goes to track 2. So this one moves down this way. It's been moving. Okay, so we have it down here now. Now for this new group, he's going to get placed, and he gets a 1-1. 1-1, he goes into zone 1. Not where I wanted him to go, but that's where he went. Okay, so they get a whole nother one. Tokyo's building up here. If they intercept me, they're going to be tough. All right, but we're not there yet. Don't have to worry about it quite yet. Not ready to go hit air production over there just yet. I want a big group when I go in there. All right, here we go. Let's see. This is November. That's the only reinforcement, so I didn't get anything. They got their track reinforced. So +3 on groups. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These guys all have 2, so they don't redistribute yet. All right. And new groups for the IJN. Track reinforced, faint target, let's see. Okay, new groups. Nope. It's their manufacturers when they get their squadrons. All right. Keep my mind. It's starting to flow a little better. Now we go to phase 2, U.S. New groups. I don't have any. Replace, return to base. Don't have any. Manufacture squadrons. In this one, I get 2. So I get 2 new squadrons I can assign. So I'm going to put 1 squadron here and 1 squadron here. Okay, so we're starting to, our squadrons are starting to build up too. So that gives us a little group. Okay, add remove bombing campaigns. No bombing campaign yet. Okay, that's still good. Phase 4, mission construction. All right. Well, I got to go hit, I either go hit Kobe or I get in here to Yokohama and finish this off. That takes 3. And then what else do I do? I could go after oil output. I could come up after here, or I could get Kawasaki, who has, may not be a bad move. I'd be down to 1 on him. And I could finish off Yokohama, or 1 more, I'd be there. I think that's what I'll do though. I'm going to send 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep. I got to send 3, so I'm going to send 1, 2, 3 to, oops, yeah, to Yokohama. He's over here, so he's going to Yokohama. I'm going after that infrastructure. Then I have 3 more who could go hit Kawasaki also. 1, 2, 3. They're going to go hit Kawasaki. All right. They're both on high altitude. We're hitting area 2. We're going to take them. They have increased flak, but I don't think it'll be enough to any worse than anything else. So we're ready to see if we can do some damage here on Kawasaki. And I'm going to try to get Kawasaki's infrastructure down and Yokohama's knocked out. That's my plan anyway. Okay, so that's my mission construction. Here we go. So we're going to Yokohama first. So there's a rule for these interceptions here, and it's called aggregate flak because there is no I'm looking here for it. Aggregate AA fire. If before you place a mission there are no Japanese groups in the target track and there are multiple missions including this one but not including yet to fly in the target track's mission staging area and place all the missions in the target's track. Okay, so really that's if before you place a mission there are no Japanese groups, but there are groups, so this will not count. Okay, so Yokohama's going. They're going to roll. Their strength here is 7 and 3 is 10. Halved is 5, which drops it down to 4 still. So we roll for their flak. They get a 3. A 3 is nothing. So Yokohama, we hit it with 4. 1, 2, 3. Hit it with 3. Yokohama 3. We destroyed that and we pull this and we get bomb training +1. Okay, so we've already done that one, so it didn't gain me anything. And now we're coming in with Kawasaki, and again he's going to be at table 4. On his firepower he gets a 1, so no damage. So here we're going to hit Kawasaki with 3. 1, 2, and 3. We're going to hit his infrastructure also. 1, 2, 3. So he's down at the minimum. So I almost got that one. I'm going to come and get it next turn and find out that one, and then Kobe's probably next, and then that's going to let me start hitting Tokyo. By then I hope I have a bigger strength package here to start hitting these guys. I was really hoping I'd get the incendiary thing and get that taken care of, but we didn't get it. Okay, So we execute our missions. We don't have any campaigns yet. Tally air oil infiltration. Okay, so our air is still 1, so no change there. The oil is still 0, so no change there. And then the infrastructure, so 0, 0, 3, 9, 12. So they're at 12 hits, which now makes them -3. Okay. So we do their manufacture, and we're going to roll on their Japanese manufacturer. And there are 6 still, and they got, oh good, a 1. So on 1 on 6 is only 3 squadrons. Only, I say, 1, 2, and 3. So again, it goes to any of the 4s. Well, the 4s all have theirs because the new one came out with the 2. So now we go to the 2s. We start with Tokyo. They're on the lowest track. Then we come in here and we come here. Okay. So there we are. Research, return B29 groups. So my research is still 2 points. So over here on my research track, I'm going to research incendiaries. I got one more turn, one more time, and I'll have my incendiaries. Okay. And that's it for research. And I don't have any B29 groups to return. All right. Bombing repair. So again, it's the major city repair. This time they're at a -3. We're still in the early stage. So we're going to roll 1 die. Oh, they got a 6. -3 is a 3 up here on this board right here, and the 3 is 3 points. Okay, so the first one they get back is where I destroyed that one, so they're at 5 now. So he has 1 damage point, he has 3, he has 5, he has 3. So the other 2 points all go into the 1 city, so they go to Yokohama. So 1, 2. So he's back up to 3 now in his infrastructure. All right, that took care of that. And now we're going to go back up to phase 1, and we're going to move into the 4th turn and the last turn of this video. So I'm going to make a battery change real quick, and then we'll play this 4th turn. Okay, so this is December, and we do move the anti-aircraft. So let's see where it goes. We get a green 6, red 1. Green 6, red 1. Area 5. So that's back over here. All right. Next up is track reinforce. So reinforcements, there are no Japanese reinforcements this turn, so they don't get any. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there's no more groups than there are. There's not more than 3 in these 2, so they're still good there. Okay, so nothing happens there. All right, now we go U.S. new groups. I get turn 4. This is the 6th, 9th, 504th, and 505th. Oops, sorry. So we have 2, 3, 4, and I get 4 squadrons with them. So 1, 3 more, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so we got our new squadrons, new groups, new squadrons. So now I'm getting, that picks me up a lot. That's what I'm talking about. Here we go. Okay. Now we do replace RTBs. I don't have any. Manufacture squadrons. On this turn, our squadron manufacturer is still 2, so I get 2 new squadrons. So I'm going to build up my old squadrons still. 1. They earned them, my old groups. A couple of them right there. All right, so they're starting to build up. Okay. Add, remove bombing campaigns. Well, we have a bombing campaign marker, and we're going to add this over here. And this is ML, which is mine lane. So it starts right here. So we have now a bombing campaign to do. Okay, so the bombing campaign, is here. These are the mine lane. There's no AA, so that's good. So I can attack any one of those. And I believe I will have to look if I have to come in at low altitude, which could be a little deadly. Then we have mission construction. So I got to figure out my bombing campaigns. But I know for sure I'm coming in Kawasaki, and I really only need one hit there. I can fly more groups in. I can spread them out. So I can give one there and a couple on the air production if I want. Or on the oil output. And let's see, so I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So if I hit two of these mine lane, that would leave me with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and that would leave me with 2 to go up there against that one. So if I send 2, I'll send one of the big squadrons and one of the smaller ones. Here on track 2, they're going to go to Yokohama because we're going to finish that infrastructure off. Okay. And then we're going to go to, I really want to come over here to Kobe, which is here. Yes. And hit their infrastructure. I need 6 on that one. So before, it's what I got to do for sure. So 1, 2, 3. This is the Kobe. 3, 4, 5, 6. All of this is going to Kobe. So I'm coming in here to nail his infrastructure and see what I get there. Okay, and then that leaves me these 2 groups, and I got to check real quick how to do my bombing campaign. Okay, so we have our mine lane targets on the board, and we're going to send 2 missions out to hit them. All right, this is mine lane is a high altitude precision bombing, so pretty low risk, a lot lower risk for fighter interception. So they sent some squadrons, have 2 squadrons in them, but we'll see. Hopefully we won't get intercepted. All right, so here we go. We're going to Kobe. So we've done our mission construction. Now we're going to go to Kobe. So he has check him for fighters, see if they're going to intercept us. And he gets a 4. A 4 is none. Okay. So the fighters haven't been able to get up and get us here early in the war yet. So we get through. So they have for flak, he has 5, and 3 is 8. Divided in half is a 4. So we roll for 4. Oh, we got a 6 that time. A 4 and a 6 is 1 and 1. So 1 returns to base and 1 destroyed. So we take out a couple of the squadrons here. So let's see if I got one with multiples. Yep, he has a multiple. So we'll take that squadron, goes to return to base. Yep, he'll take 1 out. It's destroyed, goes to the dead pool. Okay, so we hit Kobe with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hits on Kobe on the infrastructure, destroys the infrastructure, and we get bomb incendiaries. All right, so we now have incendiaries, which means we have now, it's done, and now we're using incendiaries. So that starts immediately. So I now have incendiaries. So I take these little tracks right here, and I put these on here on the incendiaries. And it says how much how far burned out he is up here. So everybody starts as a 0, of course. And 0 and 0. And there's 1, 2, 3, 4 tracks. So every time a track gets completely destroyed, then it cannot be, that marker comes off and it can't be rebuilt. Anything that wasn't already destroyed right now can be done. So like the infrastructure here in Kobe can be rebuilt because it was prior to the incendiaries. All right, so that's it for Kobe. Now in this area, we're coming in for our mine right here. There's no AA for the mine lane mission, so only the fighters can come get me. So we roll for fighter interception. Oh, he got a 5. And a 5 is half. So out of this group, half comes up. So the first half would be this half, and that is 6 fighter points. And he's attacking me, so that's going to be 3. And 3 is going to drop him to 1. My defense is 4, 5, 6, half a -3, so I'm on a 1. So we're both going to be air combat factors 1. I'm going to roll both dice. The green is the US and the red is the Japanese. And so neither one of them got a very good roll. A 1 for me is no damage, and a 2 for the Japanese is no damage. So the fighters, and I did that. That's it. They did no damage. They intercepted, and I bombed the target. So we draw out of this cup the damage markers. These are the ones that you would have seen at 8th Air Force, and we get a 4. And so we now have a damage marker on that one, so it's damaged. We did our job there. Okay, and this B-29 group comes back. All right, now we're going to Yokohama. So again, the fighters are scrambling, maybe, and they get, they got a 6. They all came up. So here we go. So now the fighters come up, and so we got to add it all together. So he's 6, 8, 10. 5 is 15, and 3 makes 18. Divided in half is 9. 9 drops him to 7. So he attacks me with 7. My bomb group has 4, 5, 6, 10, 11. In half is 5, which makes him a 4. So the Japanese is on 7, and I'm on 4. So we're going to roll both dice. All right. I got a 2 for the Japanese on 7 is 1 destroyed. So I lose 1 squadron. So he has 1 destroyed. Take it out. Send it back to base. And I have a 5 on 4. I get 1 destroyed. So he loses his squadron. So his squadron goes back to the dead pile. All right. Now the bombers can go ahead and hit their target. So we have 1, 2 groups here in Kawasaki. 2, we destroyed it. And it, whoops, it is the bomb any TRI. So, bomb any TRI. That's for the bombing campaign. Is that for the bombing campaigns? Any. Oh. Training, reconnaissance, and incendiaries. Well, the incendiaries are already done, and when I got my incendiaries, I got to move this up to 3 per turn, and now reconnaissance goes up, and that finishes recon. So, and now I'm at 4. So I'm at 4 research points per turn. Okay. All right. There's 1 left, a dud, and it's in Tokyo, which we don't really care about at this point yet. So we haven't had to charge into Tokyo. Yokohama's done. And now we have We have one fighter group left. Let's see if he comes up against the B-29s here that are going after the mine lane. He gets a 1. They do not. So he's going to hit the mine lane without any issue. And it's a number 6. Okay. Missions are finished. We score the campaigns. All right. So I get 2 hits. So here we take 2 hits, 1, 2, and then they get back the ones that are undamaged, 1, 2, 3. So it goes back 1, 2, 3. So it's on a level 1. So you can see now if I hit 3 and he doesn't repair any, then I could knock them all out and be at a -2 and wouldn't have to worry about mine lane for a while. All right, tally the air, oil, and infrastructure. 1 on the air, so it's still a 1. Okay. Oil is still a 0, and now infrastructure. 6, 9, 12, 16. So we're at 16 on the infrastructure. It still is -3. All right. Japanese aircraft manufacturer. So we're rolling. He's a 6. Oh, good. He got a 1. So that's only 3 squadrons. 1, 2, 3. Okay. So we do the 4 group first. He gets 1. And now we're going to the 2s. So they get 1 here. And they get 1 here. All right. Research, return B-29 group. So now I have 4 research points. I can, let's see, I can start researching the atom bomb research, I think. Six, 7, 8, 9, 10. So it costs me, looks like 4. Let me check that real quick on the atom bomb. Bomb research, however, provides you with a one-time delivery of 2 atom bombs and the 393rd Squadron counter from 9 to 10. Okay, then when if it advances. Okay. So the research per turn counter at 4 per turn plus 5 destroyed major cities, totaling 9 research points, will get you there. So I got the 4 research points, so I can move it down 1. But now I got to have a destroyed city to get me a 5th one now. So I'm not there yet. Okay, so now is when the bombing campaign. So we started our research, but we can't go any farther now. Okay. Bombing repair. Okay, bombing campaign repair. So we roll 2 dice and hope we don't get a 4 or a 6. Oh, we got a 1 and a 2. So they were not able to repair any of their mines. All right, and then we go major city repair. Okay, so again, he's at -3 on the infrastructure repair, and he gets a 5. -3 is 2. We're still in the early, so he gets 2 repair points. Well, we have a 6 here, a 3, a 4, a 0. So this one was completely destroyed. That's 1, and this one was completely destroyed, and it was destroyed when we had the bomb, incendiary. So we actually have this one now at 25%, and that infrastructure is finished over there. Okay, so he cannot repair the infrastructure here in Kawasaki. So we did our job again. All right. I suppose I could mark it with the infrastructure here is burned, destroyed, and that keeps me from thinking I got to put something there. All right. Same thing when I'm marking these off, I can put that on there. Okay, so there we go. That's the end of that turn. The next turn will be January 1945. So we finished 1944. All right, now I'm starting to get into the rhythm. We're starting to get squadrons built up. So now we have, you can see flying these high missions. The Japanese aren't intercepting very often, and the firepower is not real great. And then we also have the ability now to start going into some of these areas and really hammering, like Kobe if I want to. I could just go blast Kobe, try to put their oil production out, their air production out. Their infrastructure won't take much to nail that. So I could go after that whole target there and just make Kobe burn to the ground without even hitting the housing yet. So, and then housing, you have to come in at low altitude. Or I could just go ahead and come in there. My reconnaissance is there. So that helps me when I go in. I can target different things. So I could even target their housing and start burning that. But I can get Kobe completely destroyed here if I want to. So there's different things, right? Different things to start looking at, where to go hit these guys now that they can't repair them. And you know, when do we go start hammering on Tokyo? They have a lot of air production. So does Nagoya. So it'd be good to go hammer Nagoya's air production and start giving these guys, so they can't produce as many squadrons anymore because they're starting to build up, and I got to do something about that. So that may be the other thing, is spread out and go hammer air production. So yeah, I think we got a lot to think about here for the next turn as we start in January 45, and we keep the mine lane also. If I can hit that, I can hit these three, and I can put their mine lane out of my mind for a while. I won't have to do anything with it for a couple turns anyway. That mine lane hangs around for a while too. So okay, I think that's going to be it. Hey, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe, and as always, leave me your comments and give me your thoughts. Tell me how you like it. I'm having fun with this one. I think it's now that I'm back in the swing of it, it's starting to pick up for me. So I see how it's starting to roll, and hopefully you're liking it. And I'll see you guys for the next one. Okay, everybody have a good one.